Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Advent Revival podcast. Today, we're going to be discussing the films that we got to see on opening night of the festival. But first, we're going to start off with a little bit of a chat from Logan.
Hello, I'm Logan Walker, and I've just left Iris Prize's opening night films, a fantastic selection that has left an outstanding impression of what this week will bring. Starting with Tolldy, a horror comedy film that blends the nuances of horror with some fantastic chaotic comedy. There's also Snap Strings, a film that has been created by a set of students from Willows High School. An honestly fantastic piece of film crafted by some really talented students. There was also Pink Portraits, a quick behind the scenes and photo shoot for some of Bad Wolf's most important figures. There was also Never Never Never, a musical comedy of sorts that has such a rich story and honestly quite emotionally gripping scenes. And there was also Jackie, a documentary set on Jackie Forster, an activist for the LGBTQ rights and also an amazing woman. Truly some inspirational pieces tonight, and I hope to see you throughout the week. Thank you.
Thank you, Logan, for giving us a good overview of the films that we're going to talk about. Now we're going to see a little interview with one of the high schoolers that was the lead in the film Snapped Strings.
I'm James Dolan, and I was Tom in the film Snap Strings. There was just so much to enjoy, really, because everything was new to me. That was my first time being on screen and just seeing everything being done. Overall, my favorite part about making the film was composing the music. It was surreal, and if I'm honest, that's the biggest cinema screen I've ever seen. Seeing my face just giant on that screen, that was weird. Being bullied in school, I feel like it isn't something that's talked about enough. Definitely by schools as well. People don't understand how much bullying affects people. That's one of the key takeaways from the film, bullying. I composed the guitar piece for Snap Strings, hence the name Snap String. Watching my music being played in front of about 340 different people, just knowing the fact that 340 people are internalizing something I've spent time doing, it's surreal. It gripes me to see it happen.
It was really wonderful to get to chat to him as he's a very talented actor, up and coming, and it was really interesting to see what the experience was like being on that film. But now we're going to talk about all of the films, so I'm going to introduce you to my guest. Hi, Sonny. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine in this
Good.
nice post opening night morning.
Mm-hmm. It was a really fun time. Did you have fun?
Oh, I had fun. I had a fantastic time last night.
It was a really good vibe and
It was
really
very
good
energetic,
films.
very energetic, very good films too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good collection. I feel like I just felt good coming away from each one. Like each one, I had very positive things to talk about.
It was a great opener. I think they picked the right lineup for the first night.
We also got to have little Q&As after each film, or after all the films were done with each of the different crew members and different actors, which was really good. It was really great to hear what the behind the scenes was like. I think that was interesting. Now, one of the films was Never Never Never.
Yes.
Which I know you really enjoyed.
Oh,
so.
I loved that one. I thought it was fantastic. I recognised the town as well. Midway through, I remember pointing it out to Logan, who was sat next to me.
Where was it filmed again?
Tembe, just up the way in, just up from us, above us somewhere.
Yeah, they said they had issues with filming there because it was very popular.
Yeah, it's very popular town. I can imagine there were some early calls just to make it look a lot quieter, which they did achieve very well.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the balancing in that movie of, I don't want to say mundane life and the spectacular, but well, that's what it is. It was the balancing of the spectacular in the mundane, and I really enjoyed that. I loved seeing the life that people hide. Yeah. I think that's what it was about, and I really loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
I really liked the contrast between the fishing scenes. It really felt like two completely different places that you could be in.
Yeah, it was partly to do with the costume designer who we did talk to at some point during the night, and he was lovely, and he had a whole conversation with us about what went through his head when he was designing the outfit specifically for the Shirley Bassey bits. Mm-hmm. And that was very interesting. It was very interesting.
That's great.
He said he had a big list of people he could get help from as well, which is always a good thing to have.
Yeah, it was really interesting that the focal, like, almost character of itself was Shirley Bassey. That was very interesting. I was not expecting that.
No, neither was I, which is obviously funny because the name of the short film is in relation to it, but it just didn't click with me until
it didn't. I don't think it connected for me either, but it was really good. It was a really well done production. Also, we had a very fun horror comedy, which I know that you're into horror comedy.
I love horror. I love horror and I love comedy.
That was the Tolldy. Pardon my Welsh, I'm so sorry. But it's called The Toll House in English.
Yes. I love horror comedies. I mean, my favourite movie probably of all time is Scream. And it's always a challenge balancing horror and comedy. Because quite often you'll have comedy outweighing the horror and then the horror goes a little bit flaccid. But I think they did a great job.
They did. It was really good.
A fantastic job. It was a quite unique premise as well.
It was.
Having it all featured in a toll house.
Yeah.
it was quite.
It was really creepy. The effects and everything. Like
the effects were impressive.
Yeah.
I wish I'd gotten to ask them about that actually.
Yeah. It was a really impressive. Like I was not expecting it at all. And
especially
the face of the
makeup.
creature. Yeah. It was just very. It was very like unexpected, I feel like, but it fit really well as well because I didn't know what to expect going into it, and then I was like, oh, I actually really love this. But and then we had a little bit of behind the scenes for one of the exhibitions that's on, which is the Pink Portraits of Bad Wolf. So they do the Pink Portraits. They did the Pink Portraits last year, but this year I think they're doing it because it's Bad Wolf's 10th anniversary.
Is it?
So they wanted to go and do portraits of a bunch of the LGBTQ plus members of staff. And they gave us a little behind the scenes overview of that.
It made me quite excited to see the final results now. That I'm looking forward to that because I don't know. It was very interesting watching the process and having the talk from the photographer and the person who's planning out and talking about how everybody's so unique and individual, and that's what they're trying to get across in all of these photos, which is realistically what Iris is all about anyway. Yeah.
It was a really good way of connecting those two things in photography and like what you can capture in a camera. We also had Snap Strings, which was a film done by students at Willows High School.
Student-led, yeah.
Which is very cool. It had a very particular like feel to it.
Yes, yeah.
It was about a boy disconnected from his father and also like being in a relationship with another boy at school and being bullied, either for that or just in general. I mean, and I think the actor himself, he said that the main like point of the film was to talk about bullying and bring more awareness to it.
And that did come across. It was very impressive.
Which, yeah, it's very impressive, and also a good thing that I think a student that is currently a student to talk about, because they can talk about it in like a more truer way than maybe like a full adult could, because they're currently experiencing it.
Yeah, it's happening to them right now, and they can see it happening around them. It's the perfect person to go for when you want that kind of voice. I think the aesthetic and vibe of that movie was really brought together by the soundtrack as well, which as was stated,
composed by the students, which is amazing, incredible.
They had a little talk with the director as well, who was also a student, I think, and that blew me away as well. I didn't expect that. I said it last night, and I'll say it again. I need to keep an eye on those kids. They're going to do something. Yeah, they're definitely going to do something.
Yeah. They're incredible. Then we got to my favorite one, which was a documentary about a woman named Jackie Forster, who I actually hadn't heard of before. But now I'm like obsessed, which I think was the goal. I mean, they said in the Q&A, exactly. They were like, people are going to be looking this woman up now. But she was a lesbian rights activist and doing so much back then. And just really an incredible woman. It was a really well put together documentary as well. It was visually interesting as well as like... combining the different audio. I was really impressed by like how smooth everything felt. Yeah.
It felt like it was all meant to go together. And honestly, I was surprised at the end when it clicked for me that those were all separate. It was all from different sources, and they made it work so well. They mentioned that they wanted to make people talk about her again, to bring her into light, because she wasn't as well known for some reason. Yeah, and they definitely achieved it, because I went home and I told my boyfriend all about it. I couldn't help myself. It was so funny, and she's such a funny woman as well. Yeah, and she was really funny. So influential.
Yeah, Well, yeah, but it was a fantastic documentary, and they were all fantastic films.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we got to see them. It was a really exciting opportunity. Thank you so much for coming and talking to me about them.
I need to thank you.
And thank you all for watching this episode of the Edvu Yed Revival podcast, which is brought to you by the Performance and Media students in association with the Iris Prize Film Festival here at the University of South Wales.